On the 10th of May 1940, Fairey Battle K9372 of 103 Squadron. 4 battles were sent to attack enemy troops advancing westward on roads from Luxembourg City to Dippach. Battle K9372 PMA was shot down by ground fire following a low-level bombing attack on the enemy column east of Dippach. Crashed and broke up at Zwaet Haed, west of Rolling-er-boesch, just east of Athus, near the Belgian-Luxembourg border, at approximately 2:15 p.m. The crew were Pilot Officer Kenneth, John Drabble, age 20, Observer Sergeant Thomas Daw, or Dan Smith, age unknown, and the wireless operator, air gunner, leading Aircraftman Phillip James Lamble, age 20. All crew were killed in the incident and were initially buried beside the aircraft. Maurice Wells in K9264 on the same mission, in his own account of this incident from the book Valiant Wings by Norman Frank, states, on the 10th of May, the German Blitz started. B Flight was to stand by, of which I was acting flight commander. AASF Ops ordered 2 aircraft to take off at 1400 hours to bomb at the spearhead of a German convoy advancing through Luxembourg. We were told the position of the French army and told to fly at 0 feet above their positions. The intelligence was incorrect. In fact, the Germans were in the reputed French positions, which we learned to our cost. They threw everything at us. Sergeant Lowe's battle, K9270, got badly hit and burst into flames and crashed. I went on and carried out a low-level attack on the main convoy and straddled the road with 250-pound bombs. To do this, we went through a barrage of incendiary bullets and cannon shells, which hit the engine and started a fire, and also burst the coolant tank, which covered the cockpit in smoke and steam. As I got as high I could, telling the crew to jump out, but the intercom was gone. I held the aircraft level at 200 feet until my legs started to burn, and then jumped at about 150 feet. I did one swing in the parachute and landed pretty hard on the ground adjacent to the burning aircraft. I found I was unable to get out as it was completely surrounded by Germans, who eventually captured me. P.O. Drabble took off a few moments later in K9372 to bomb a similar target, in which Drabble got shot down and all were killed in action. From the images, you can see temporary graves beside the plane. They were moved in 1941 and reburied as 3 unknowns in Mount Saint-Jean Cemetery near Dublin in Luxembourg. The airmen were correctly identified and reinterred on the 19th of June 1947, which is a long wait for the family. They were buried in Hutton War Cemetery, situated in the Belgian province of Luxembourg. May they rest in peace. Of the 4 battles that took part in that mission, 3 were lost. K9372, PMA, 3 killed in action. K9264, PML, 3 prisoners of war. K9270, PMO, 1 POW and 2 killed in action. And K9408, PMN, badly damaged, but the crew survived. Thanks to John Darrenden, Michael Beckers and David Fell and David Underwood for images. Find a Grave for headstone images, and Martin Gleason for his in-depth research.